Hello, I'm here again tonight. My first one was a little more serious, and not to take away from that or anything, but I want to talk about parenting tonight. Parenting is something to be taken seriously. Parenting is something to take responsibly, and parenting is something to be taken as a joy, as a blessing from God. You know, some people don't ever get to do it, and they really want it. Some people do it like it's not parenting the way they do it. But I want to say my upbringing, my dad was a state patrol lieutenant before he retired, so he was with the state patrol. He ended up being there for 31 years, 32 years, I believe. Before that, he was United States Navy. Before that, he worked at a pump shop and miscellaneous other things on farms and whatnot like that. So my dad knew how to work. He knew what dedication was. He knew how to get respect. He knew how to give respect. With that being said, my childhood, of course, I have a little brother, younger brother, and as brothers are, we fought and did our spats and whatnot, and Dad punished accordingly. My brother did something stupid, he got punished for it. I did something stupid, I got punished for it. A lot of those times it wasn't me that did it, and it's not that I'm sour about that, but it's just to say that I got more spankings, groundings, that whatever else the punishment was than I really deserved, but it really wasn't abuse. And unlike kids today who think if you lay a finger on them, this is in some cases exaggerating. I know in some cases it's probably closer to truth than we'd all like to think. But you lay a finger on them and you're abusing them. And it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Through punishment, through reward, through butt whoopings, through butt chewings, through groundations, through hard labor, I learned to work. I learned how to respect people even when I didn't want to. I learned what it was like to be given respect. In fact, my dad, and this is just a little story, me and my little brother were fighting one day, and Mom said, I'm telling your dad when he gets home, and me and him pleaded with Mom for Dad, for her not to tell Dad, because we knew what was coming. We were getting our butts whooped, and we were being grounded. Granted, we didn't have the cell phones and the cable TV and all of that to be taken away, so what they did take away was a big thing, because we didn't have a whole lot, and both of us have turned out fine. Aaron's done a lot of growing up recently, and I've just kind of stumbled my way through to get to where I am now. But I want to say that's because my dad was tough on me. My dad was tough on my little brother. My mom respected my dad. And even though she didn't like some of the things, she didn't do it in front of us. To my recollection, many times that they disagreed, being married myself, understanding that when you're a kid, you don't exactly see the whole picture of the marriage. They talked about things in private, and they respected each other. There are things that Dad gave in on that he felt like he was right, but said, no, my wife wants this. That's part of parenting, showing your kids that a mother and a father can get along, that they can be on the same team. That shows children many different things. Another thing with parenting is a mother and a father. A mother brings things to a relationship. I don't want to say she brings emotions, but she brings comfort. She brings spiritual gifts to the relationship. The father, just the same. And you need both of them, just like you need a sperm and an egg to come together and make a fetus, which is when the cells start dividing and everything starts forming. You need a mother and a father for that. In today's world, not so much mother and father. There's a lot more mother and mother. There's a lot more father and father. My personal views on that is, hey, do what you want, but if you biologically are not able to produce a child naturally, because the parts don't match up to do that, probably shouldn't have a kid. But that's, once again, my personal view on that situation. But you need the mother and you need the father. And more importantly, you need the father in the relationship. Because the father is more like a checks and balances type thing with the mother, vice versa, the mother and the father. And the Bible has many different verses on how to be a parent, how to be a husband, how to be a wife, why you should be a wife, why you should be a husband, and why the husband should be male and the wife should be female. But today it came up in the news many times, and I want to go ahead and play a snippet here of a child who, not knowing the backstory, appears to have many things that many children less fortunate do not have, and probably never will have. And she's getting it taken away because she's wanting to do her own thing. Let's just listen to this real quick.
On her cell phone shows she was kicked out of her Lincoln Park, New Jersey home.
We gave her the ultimatum of breaking up with her boyfriend, and if she didn't break up with her boyfriend, then she wasn't allowed to stay past her 18th birthday.
Since November, Rachel Canning has been...
Now that, I did it too. That's why I was living on my own when I was 16, 15. I didn't want to listen to my parents. I was living in my parents' house and I didn't want to listen to their rules. I wanted to do my own thing. I'm not saying that's bad on her at all. This next part I want you to listen to, and I say shame on him. This is ridiculous. Shame on him.
Living with the family of her best friend. That's the family of attorney and former Morris County freeholder John Inglesino, who has been paying for her lawyer. The attorney for...
Now, I suppose you know right now there's a court case going on, and that's why he was paying for this man that is this girl's best friend's dad is paying for this other girl's lawyer to sue her parents because she didn't get what she wanted and she believes she's entitled to it. I don't know if this next clip's actually going to say it or show it or anything like that, but reading through the article, you can find it on blaze.com. I'm pretty sure it's out there as well with other news sites. But it says that this girl left home and her parents took her car from her because they were paying for it, not her. That they said, well, you wanted to leave home, you didn't want to follow our rules, we're not paying for your schooling. Meaning the private school that she's at, they pulled the funding for her high school. Well, she wanted to leave. She can go to a public school if she wants her religion or her schooling to be done. She doesn't have to go to a private school. But she wanted to go to that private school, so they pulled that funding, and they also pulled her college funds. And she's trying to sue for that, plus $650 a month for her best friend's family for supporting her for 2 days or 3 days before she turned 18. Can you say spoiled brat? That's what we used to call it when I was a kid anyway. But listen to this. Listen to what the judge says. And I say kudos to this judge.
We want to establish a precedent where parents live in constant fear of establishing basic rules of the house.
So that is the ruling for now. The judge refused the preliminary emergent order denying everything. More than $600 per month in support, the cost of her Catholic school back pay, legal fees, and that college tuition. But he wants more information and will revisit those issues in April.
So I say kudos to that judge. He's saying, this is stupid. Why do I want to set a precedent that says parents cannot set rules for their children, and the children do not have to follow those rules? They can just go to court and the kid gets what they want. Kudos to that judge. Awesome. Shame on this friend's father. I say there's something funky going on between her and that family. I don't know, but why else? Why else would another man pay for another's daughter to sue him? Doesn't make any sense. Court fees are not cheap. On the other hand, what's with this little girl? And I'm going to say little girl. I'm 35 years old. She's 18. I can say little girl. What's with her and her attitude? She doesn't deserve none of that. And I can't imagine that while she was living with her parents, she was an angel saint child either. But, it also says in there that she started having problems at school with drinking and everything at a Catholic school. A Catholic school. There's a lot of porn movies out there about Catholic schoolgirls. I've never been to a Catholic school, but I've heard a lot about Catholic schools and the girls and the guys. Well, it's a private school. They can enforce their rules their own way. They can say Catholic, that's fine, because when it comes down to the issue of Jesus Christ, most Catholics will say, I'm not Christian, I'm Catholic. I know this because I've been on outreach and I've had that happen many, many times. In fact, when we get to the point of Jesus Christ, oh, I'm Catholic. Well, what does that have to do with anything? Apparently, it's a totally different religion. Because they get really offended when you say, hey, Jesus Christ said this. Oh, no, I'm Catholic. I don't know, guys. You guys make up your mind. What do you guys think of this court case? What do you guys think of parenting? Go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll be looking at these and maybe answering some questions or even responding, I guess, to your comments. Thanks so much, and this is Dan's Corner. I'm done for the night.